You're listening to Chem Stories, a podcast series created by people with lived experience of P&P chemsex.
Hi, sweethearts. This is Captain Patrice speaking from the flight deck of Chem Stories Airlines. We're now in the third and final leg of our YYZ Wisdom flight, where Toronto host Bradley resumes his conversation with Matthew and Reid. Our flight plan forecasts discussions on the connection between sex, drug use, and community belonging, reflecting on how U equals U, undetectable equals untransmittable, has redefined HIV intimacy and fostered hope. Should you experience turbulence while listening to this podcast, please visit our list of resources and services related to P&P chemsex in the episode description and on chemstories.ca. Thank you for choosing Chem Stories Airlines, where the journey is always a trip.
Because you're the non-using group, do either of you use the word sobriety or sober? I've never heard either one of you use that.
I also don't use addict.
Yeah.
I'm stoned right now.
Roll credits. We're done. Oh, piss. That's funny. So you say no drugs and that you're high now. What is that? What do you
Well, I
mean?
smoke pot. I smoke a lot of pot. Like a lot of pot.
No. And you smoke strong shit.
I smoke the strongest indica I can find. And if I'm not liking how that's making me feeling, I switch to shatter and smoke the strongest shatter I can find.
That looks like it's been dipped in like crystallized sugar and
I
stuff.
buy pre-rolls.
Yeah. They're pretty.
They are pretty. They're expensive.
Navigating it on your own terms.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
I guess. I'm so fresh out of my relationship that I haven't really placed myself into a community or in the community in any way, shape, or form. Also, I've been in school for 10 years. So I've kind of been busy doing something that isn't really a social thing, where I'm still 20 years older than most of the students in my class. So it's not really a social thing at school either.
Please.
That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. There was a 39-year-old in a class that I was in talking about being the oldest person in the class. Oh my God. And I thought, no. I took it as a compliment, as a silent compliment. Either I'm invisible or I got a good cleanser, I'm not sure. Or the Botox is working. Don't start. Words like addict, sobriety, sober, you avoid them?
Only if it's used in terms of triumph. I have been sober now for 10 years. The last time I used drugs was 2013. And before that, it was 2011 when I stopped. And then I relapsed once in 2013. So that now is 12 years ago. And I have remained sober since, where all I do is smoke pot. I don't do poppers. I don't do crystal. I don't do anything else. I don't really drink because it fucks with my psychiatric meds. And why would I want to turn off my psychiatric meds? They cost so much money. They are so expensive. Like, I'm taking $47,000 worth of medication a year. $47,000. And I know that for some who have certain disorders or symptoms, like that's not a lot for some people. But on average, that's a hell of a lot of medication to be taking.
So, great. How do you navigate? What I love about both of you is how complex your relationship is with drugs and sex, because it's so distinctly unique to you. Like it's unique in that it's your story, right? How is it to all you are and all your layers and complexity, how is it to navigate that in the community, in the gay community?
I find it difficult when people talk about who I've gone on to not use anymore, how wonderful it was to have chemsex. Her sex was wonderful with it, and how they're having sex now, even if they're not having sex now, because some of them still bring that forward. And I think Matthew's kind of on this one too. I count all the drugs as a chemsex.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I do. Not just meth. Meth was my thing of choice, but I did try them all, because you have to try them. You have to know whether you like them or don't like them. You know, it's just research. Yeah. And because I started later in life, like at 52, 53, I'd never done drugs until then. So I went straight to chemsex from safe sex.
Which is sex in the vault at a bank?
Yes. It was sex using condoms and not having drugs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'd just become positive when I started using them. That was my flip.
What does that mean?
That was the only group I felt I belonged to. HIV positive. What was BBRT at the time, which at the time it was only people who were HIV positive, because U equals U wasn't in there then. Nobody was using undetectable either, really. That much.
Community knew, though. Like, community knew the science before the science.
Yes, but I did not want to play with anybody who was negative, because there was no PrEP or anything like that to PEP. None of those. So that was the only community that I seemed to belong to, and they were the community using. Where most of the people on BBRT were using some sort of chemsex along with being HIV positive.
So you found community? Is this what?
BBRT. Right, bareback real time. It's an ad. It's an app.
Is it? I have no idea.
I know. That's why I'm repeating it for you.
I appreciate it. It's very innocent.
Because being HIV positive, you're already isolated. Not using, you're isolated again. And then, of course, as I spoke before earlier, you were in different categories of how you used. So even in that community.
So when you're in community, in that, your community, or that a community that you had a membership in, because you can have memberships in several communities, I think. Yeah. When we're in that community, did you feel supported?
Yes, until people who were negative started coming into it, and people who were starting U equals U started coming into it.
Wow.
It was the trust factor. Because I still have difficulty even with somebody who's on PrEP playing with them, because they may go to somebody who's not undetectable, but I'm still in that category that if I don't disclose, there's the iffy law part of it. And they may have got it from somebody else, but I may be the one person they'd remember. And I think that's where that my 4 or 5 hours in jail made me think about that.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
It just,
of a lifetime of living in a world that hates you, which people never like to hear me saying, but I say it as often as I can.
I say it every time.
Yeah, the world doesn't like
my doctor, when I was dating, I was in a dating service at one point. Dating? No, not dating service. I should repeat.
Sensible dinners and movies?
Yeah. But I would always say on my first date, I'm HIV positive. And my therapist at the time said, "What are you doing that for?" I said, "Because I'm not going to spend 6 months getting to know this person." Therapist? Yeah. I'm not going to spend 6 months getting to know someone and then tell them I'm HIV positive and they kick me out. I'm going to tell them right away. If they take it from the first day, then that's okay. So it was a safety precaution for me, I think. And I will always tell it to medical, even though they have to do their precautions and they don't really need to know. Well,
the old chestnut.
They should do the universal precautions, but I will always tell them, only because of like interactions.
So the last time I disclosed was when I got a tattoo. Like actually sat somebody down and been like, "Listen, there's something."
Oh, to the tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Oh. Which tattoo?
I got Summa on my collarbone.
Which is not about wrestling. What's it about?
I graduated summa cum laude from the University of Toronto.
And what does that mean for the non-Latin speakers?
With high distinction. Top of my class.
So the Urban Dictionary definition of that would just be remarkable, wouldn't it? Whatever.
Yay.
So when you're not, you found community.
Right.
Now, because your use is different,
Is not non-existent.
how do you navigate your,
Sex is non-existent.
do you want it to be existent?
Yeah, once I get over in my head that it could be different, or it could be the same as what I had before. Kind of sense.
Yeah. I remember not that long ago hearing you say to someone, and I looked over at you and smiled because I loved your honesty, but you said, sober sex. What? You're like,
It's been since
never-
2009. I don't know what it is anymore. That's a long time.
but you want to have sex.
Yes. And I had practiced tantric sex before that, which is using, your chakra points and things. So I know I can go back to that, but I'd have to get myself back into it again. Because doing meth sort of clouded that, masked it on me. I still was able to do it, but it just highlighted it, not made it any different.
Explain that.
In tantric sex, you can have multiple orgasms in your body orgasms without coming. Well, people who are on meth tend not to want to come, or tend to can't come. So they kind of did match together for me in that sense. Masturbation is not something I like to do, so I was okay not having to do that. Like Matthew in his circus acts, I was known as a Cirque du Soleil, which is rope master.
Right.
For tying people up and putting them up.
Right. So is there a community for you in your
I don't know.
not using?
I don't know. Right now I'm just dealing with what caused me to do these, what I was getting from it and replacing some of that stuff. I'll deal with the sex part later. I'm okay not dealing with it now.
Well, if you're okay not masturbating.
Yeah.
This is just a form of tantric sex then, isn't it?
Well, I can actually have tantric sex with masturbating with myself now. Yeah. I can make my chakras move and move my energy up and down. Yeah. And porn and stuff never did it for me, so.
I love porn.
Did you say I love porn?
I did.
And now?
I took as one of my courses at U of T, critical approaches to porn studies.
What's
As
that
a-
textbook like?
As a fourth-year course. It was Times Square Red, Times Square Blue by
That was the
Samuel
textbook for that
Delaney.
course?
Yeah,
I love that book.
yeah.
Wow, that's great.
With a prof from UCLA who was teaching at U of T, but was from UCLA. And was like, I'm big in porno.
You're like, girl, please. I'll sign that book for you.
But like is the go-to expert on the porn algorithms, like that end of things, like the computer logistic algorithm kind of back end stuff.
No pun intended.
Dum-dum.
Thank you.
Can you just give us a quick little thing on what that book is?
Times Square Red, Times Square Blue is a book about a porno theater in Times Square before the Disneyfication of Times Square.
Which is such a great word rather than gentrification. Disneyfication. Because it connects it to capitalism and all the things. It's a great.
He describes the goings on inside of a gay porno theater over the course of like a 6-month period. He talks about homeless people and people with mental disorders. He talks about the difficulty in connecting with people outside of the theater, but it really seems to be in his conceptualization of it that porno theater is kind of like a gay enclave, like a gay community.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where are those theaters? No, there's no porn theaters. I remember going to them.
Bijou used to be. Yeah.
Video stores. Do you have a sense of a feeling that you belong in a community in how you navigate where you are with your life and sex and drugs?
No. I am an outlier to community. I am not participating in... Well, that's not true. I am participating on my own terms in the sex, drugs, and whatever lifestyle. No drugs, but every now and then I get a hookup and I tell Brad about it. That's what I do.
How do you find your relationship with people who use?
I took everybody off my list.
Except
all the
me.
emails off my list of all those
Except me.
people I played with.
Right.
Taken myself off all the ads. And when someone talks about it a lot, I have to leave. It's not a trigger. I just don't want to hear it anymore.
I had a full relationship, beginning, middle, end, with somebody who never stopped using drugs.
Yeah. How? Like, how do you navigate that? How did you navigate it?
I did.
How, though? Like, compassion? Love? What? How do you navigate that? How do you not... Did you get mad at him? Did you...
Sometimes I allowed him his space, and he was a thinking person.
He was.
So I allowed him the freedom to act on his own mind, I guess. I was just glad to spend time with him and be his boyfriend.
And yours?
I had been sort of in love with someone for 26 years, but we all had boyfriends each time. So eventually we did get together. With HIV positive, he was doing drugs. I was doing drugs at the same time. So it was cool. Alternate weekends here and there. And unfortunately, his was a little more use than mine. I would go to his house on the weekends, and he would always have a third person. I got the blame for that. Oh, we always need someone here. He would, can I use the word? Oh, I'm going to use it anyway. You can take it out if you want. So he would slam 7 or 8 times in a weekend, which I couldn't do. I would do one. And he wasn't supposed to do the alternating weekends.
Thanks.
I tried everything I could to help him, but I couldn't. Lost his job, lost his apartment, lost everything. I don't know what he's doing right now. He lives in West somewhere. It was the one and only time I tried an open relationship. I'll never do it again.
If someone was listening and they were navigating their relationship they weren't using, and they were navigating their relationship with someone who uses, is there anything that you would share with them or offer them?
It's not the most important part of a person's life. It's not even the most important part of the person who is actually using his life. It's just a detail.
If they're using, you're using, technically, and you become a codependent on you.
Is there a way for it to exist where they use and you don't use for you?
I've tried that a few times, and even I've tried something you use one way and I use another way, and it never worked for me. So I can probably safely say, no, it wasn't working, and it wouldn't work. I don't even deal with alcohol well either, so if someone's drunk, there's a certain stage, and I just have to say no. Even with my partner, I used to go, I'm going home, you can stay. So that's a certain stage I can't deal with them. And that's now I see with chem use as well. I never felt they were with me having sex. I mean, I used to always I felt with them, but it eventually got to the point of I felt it was just, I was a physical thing. I was a provider. I could get it in my house. I could get shelter at my house. It's somewhere to stay for a couple of nights. If they wanted to bring somebody over, I was a nice enough person to let that happen, but it wasn't always to my benefit.
When you look back on it, do you have any regrets?
No.
I know it's a crazy question, but...
I regret stuff that is outside of my own power.
Yeah, why do we do that?
Like, I regret that I didn't get proper health care in my home community.
Yeah.
I regret that I spent the large portion of my 20s lost in disorganized thinking. I regret that it took 10 years to come out of that disorganized thinking of therapy and support and housing and all that sort of stuff. But I couldn't plan on getting sick. And it happened at a point in time in my life when I was 23, when I should have been fiercely independent, right?
According to whom?
According to
The whole trajectory of a human being that we impose on people.
right. So that fierce independence was expected of me, but there was no way to manage it.
And yours? Do you have any regrets?
You asked about regret. The only thing I regret is the amount of money that I used in the 10 years that I'm now using to go to theatre, opera, outings, dinner.
Oh, no, she's always out on the town.
27,000, I counted it roughly over the time period. And at my age, that was not a good thing to do. That's 27,000 I could deal with now as a 69-year-old. That would be my only regret. I only did that once because of the Planning for Change program. I sat down and realized what I had done. Trips, whatever, it could have happened.
Same question we started with. How are you now?
Fine.
Oh, that's what we get?
Would you like me to tell you what that means?
Fine means
Fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional? When I lived with the lesbians, if they asked me if I was fine, they went, really? That's what they thought that meant.
I'm that woman in that movie. Where are my lesbians?
Exactly.
Fine. Fine. If you're fine, I'm fine.
I'm good, but when I go home, I'm going to have to think about this. It'll probably hit me when I go home.
You're both great.
Thank you both. You too.
And thank you for sharing everything.
If it helps somebody else.
Any questions for me?
Well, are you going to buy me lunch?
When? And that's on tape.
Right now.
And that's on tape.
Attention all passengers, Captain Patrice speaking. Prepare for landing. We're making our final descent on our YYZ Wisdom flight. For those of you who would like to travel further into Matthew and Reid's stories, we have a bonus episode available for an extended layover. Toronto host Bradley and his guests continue to discuss on the reality of grief, but also the power of poetry, spirituality, and healing. So check your itinerary. It's at the bottom of the list, and tune in to that bonus episode for the full uncut story. Next up, our journey continues on the YYZ Integrity flight, where Toronto host Bradley introduces experienced flyers Christoph, Edwin, and Tyler. More compelling stories await. Subscribe to stay updated. If you've encountered turbulence while listening to this podcast, please refer to our list of resources and services related to PNP Chemsex in the episode description and on chemstories.ca.